Nigerian Airforce aircraft departs Abuja for Paris amid Niger political crisis. The Dassault Falcon 7X with registration number FN or 5N FGU departed the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at 4:18 p.m. due to a delay as its scheduled time of departure was 3 p.m. The reason for the delay could not be established at the time of filing this report. However, Sahara reporters learned that the aircraft is expected to touch down Paris Le Bourget Airport at 10:42 p.m. The aircraft landed in Abuja at 6 p.m. from Gombe on Saturday, and in the last 6 days has been to Lagos, Abuja, Maiduguri, Kano, and Gombe. It is not clear why the Nigerian Air Force aircraft departed for Paris or the identities of the people on board. However, Sahara reporters learned that it could be connected to the political crisis following the political crisis in the Republic of Niger following the July 26 coup d'etat. Many Nigerians have urged the Nigerian government not to be involved in any military action, considering its closeness to Nigeria. There are insinuations that the United States and France are pushing ECOWAS leaders, including Nigerian President Tinubu, towards the path of military intervention if ongoing dialogue fails. The ECOWAS has enacted sanctions against Niger and asked that the ousted president should be reinstated, but the military junta in the country has so far called the bluff of the regional bloc chaired by Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu. On Friday, the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Aliyu Toure, told journalists that the West African bloc was determined to ensure that coups will not become a habit in the region. Toure therefore called on the Niger junta to reconsider its stance, saying, "Even now, it is not too late for the military to reconsider its action and listen to the voice of reason, as the regional leaders will not condone a coup d'etat. The real issue is the determination of the community to halt the spiral of coup d'etat in the region." According to Toure, military intervention is not a declaration of war or an invasion of Niger. According to him, such intervention would be a legitimate force allowed under ECOWAS statutes agreed by members. Tinubu on Thursday said he was managing a serious situation on the coup d'etat in the Niger Republic, as he was faced with the challenge of holding back the leadership of ECOWAS authority of heads of state and government and those who are outside ECOWAS control from escalating the political problem in Niger. President Tinubu, who said this in a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, enjoined a delegation of Islamic scholars, ulamas, who were previously engaged in discussions to facilitate the return of constitutional power to the outside Bazoum to expedite progress in their ongoing dialogue with the Niger military junta. "I am managing a very serious situation. If you take ECOWAS aside, other people will react, those who are outside of our control. I am the one holding these sides back. I am the one holding back ECOWAS. Even as at this morning, I have been inundated with phone calls on the readiness of other countries with their military force and contributions. However, I have told them to wait. I am meeting with ulamas and I will get back to you," the president said. Tinubu's statement came shortly after the Islamic clerics under the aegis of ulama briefed him on the meeting to the junta in Niger. Tinubu on Thursday sent them back to Niamey, Niger's capital, to continue their dialogue with the coup's leaders to resolve the political crisis in the country. Interesting. I think obviously this has become worldwide news in a sense, as the Nigerian media space is sensitive to any slight changes and what can be read into it. Obviously, we've gone into a whole dive into the political crisis in Niger from what? From the fact that a Nigerian Air Force or aircraft departed Abuja. So obviously that then adds tension as to, okay, there are movements going on, people are flying up and down. especially if the destination was Paris. And we understand how obviously Paris's influence in parts of West Africa and Central Africa, you know, the fact that the US has an airbase in Niger. So these are sort of countries of interest. It's not necessarily a thing of, asking for help and all that. But I think this is more, in a way, let's say African politics intertwining with sort of the global level of political crisis and having the US and Paris involved. Because in this case, it's not a financial aid kind of situation. This is actually like battle of power. But who really has the power here? And at the end of the day, with Tinubu, obviously, it's not a surprise to assume that his hands are tied. However, it's no surprise as well that, military intervention is the number one advice in his ears right now, especially when you look at countries like America, first of all, and also France. They've got the power and the backing. The issue is, not the issue. It's no surprise because these individuals are part of global unions. For example, the United Nations. You have what's it called again? You have NATO, you have the European Union. So these individuals in their unions are big names. And obviously in world wars, right, these are also sort of main characters, if you put it like that. So in the process of, I guess, in their democratic process and in their eyes, it's usually steps until full aggression is blown out, which is usually talks of warnings, sanctions, and then political intervention. It's like it's a stage by stage program. But if there is no change, that's why obviously war is not an unlikely, or not war, but like military intervention, which is technically war, but we're not going to say it like that. When that comes into play and is a realistic outcome, then obviously everyone tends to panic. But what do you think in the comment section? Don't forget to like and subscribe.